Next short brief upload for today is with regard to the occurrence of spiritual violence that I experienced as a new mom between 2016 and the present date. This is with regard to the human right regarding religion, faith and thought process. So the concern that I'm raising with regard to the human rights abuses and the treason that I'm experiencing is not only the issue of imposters, which are imposing and intruding and trespassing, as I keep reiterating, but that are also of a retaliatory nature, since causing spiritual assaults against my child and I. The damages have been indescribable, but they have been overcome, and I have worked as a universal light worker for many years and have worked as a humanitarian for longer. So my issue today that I'm sharing about is the issue of retaliatory processes of guilty culprits suffering from imposter syndrome that have imposed upon my ancestry and my spiritual identity, and that have, whether they choose to acknowledge and realize the damages they've caused or not, have damaged sacred light from my body and from my child. The retaliation process occurring has been happening since 2019. This has all been treasonous, and it has been a disrespect to faith, religion and thought process. The issue of my personal space, my proximity, my privacy being violated, and culprits repeating their offences and imposing upon an identity that they are not of is an insult to sacred. It's an insult to my ancestry, my royal lineage, and it's an insult to my family. So the individuals facilitating damages to sacred from my body and from my child and from my spiritual purpose as a humanitarian and as a recovery advocate of the fellowship for the past 15 years are disrespecting a fellowship that deserves more respect. The fellowship, as we are aware, respects anonymity, traditions and principles, and the culprits in this vendetta against my identity, against my good work in society, and that has had a positive impact on legislation worldwide since spiritually cleansing two properties in my hometown that have had the impact that hasn't been so beneficial but has been improved in recent times due to my work, is an issue of culprits and their falsehoods and fallacies. Anything based on a fallacy or a delusion or any falsehoods or any premise that isn't accurate, substantiated, or that is compounding inauthentic ideologies, philosophies, or happenings or experiences is an insult to faith and religion. So those of an intelligent mindset and anyone with an IQ would know that repeating offences against sacred or royal patronage or faith or family is a sad sign of the times, really. It's an insult to intelligent human beings. And there are some things that aren't possibly negotiated with poor tactics and poor play. And the poor practices that are at play in recent times by individuals suffering from an imposter syndrome and taking credit for work that they are not responsible or capable of authenticating with just poor paperwork and new storylines and plots, are really disrespecting the Declaration of Human Rights, more so than when they commenced their treasonous offences between 2016 and 2019, 2018. So as a universal light worker, as a recovery advocate, as a humanitarian of royal bloodline, I hope the Honourable Government of Ireland is aware of a very serious fiasco, fallacy, being compounded in a small town, and individuals that are liable and that have been a liability to other professions and professionals in this awful ordeal that I've experienced since my son was unfortunately, unlawfully separated from me, is tarnishing the reputation and the credibility of many. So those not comfortable with their identity, that have imposed upon my child and I and trespassed on our property, and that are helping themselves to a portfolio that they have no right to, and that have jeopardized and compromised other professions with exacerbatory, retaliatory and inauthentic information, disinformation, etc., are not helping progress or evolution. So it's a sad sign of the times when individuals, adults, are so careless, cheeky, and reckless with the truth. Developments and progress are to help progress people's livelihoods and society. And on this occasion, in this vendetta that I'm experiencing, the culprits stealing from a portfolio and a fortune that is not of their entitlement is compounding the damages that they've already done. So I hope those spiritually enlightened and spiritually intelligent individuals that are aware of the circumstances I'm enduring, are aware of the frauds and the imposters that are exacerbating and disrespecting and harming sacred light in Tralee, County Kerry of Maria McElligott.